The developers of Chef RPG just shared their roadmap for updates, revealing what's coming next for the game over the next couple of years. If you're not familiar, Chef RPG is a life sim where you can grow your culinary empire and was just released in early access back in September of this year. In this video, we'll discuss the recent skill and general updates, alongside the planned future updates and what it means with our current playthrough. So without further ado, let's start! The latest update ironed out some key bugs and added a few improvements to make the gameplay smoother. Issues with unique character clothing like Aloy's fisherman gear and Uriel's butcher apron have been fixed. These outfits weren't supposed to be available yet, but some players managed to get them early, causing weird animation glitches when cooking or using tools. The missing animations have now been added so you can rock these outfits without any problems. And also, pets will now refresh more often at the pet shop. Before, a new pet would show up every 7 days, but now it will be every 3 days. If the shop is full, an older pet will get swapped out for a new one. Another recent update focuses on improving the skills system, which was based on feedback from players. The main change is a revamp of how you level up and grow your skills in the game. Previously, every action you took would give you general experience, which would be spent on improving any of your stats. Now, the experience gained has been split by skill categories. So when you cook, your cooking stat goes up, social activities will boost your social stat, and gathering activities like harvesting, fishing, and hunting will improve your gathering stat. Physical tasks will contribute to your endurance stat. This new system makes leveling up more straightforward and ties actions directly to relevant skills. Your overall level will now be calculated based on the total of all 4 stats. Another new addition is a skill reset button. Initially, the developers planned to have an NPC manage this, but to keep things flexible, they've added a button players can use to reset their skill points and try new builds. This feature unlocks at level 30 and can be used every 5 days. Resetting skill points won't affect your current stats, so you can experiment without any drawbacks. Then we have one of the most requested features, storage expansion, which has finally been addressed. You will now have more space in your hotel and houses to store items. Hotel storage has been bumped from 16 to 28 slots. House 1 storage has increased from 28 to 40 slots. And House 2 storage now offers 56 slots instead of 44. The developers are also planning to add an upgradable centralized storage system in the future, likely during the upcoming Festivals and Relationships update, which I'm excited for and will talk in detail later. Another improvement is the ability to fast travel to the bathhouse once you've completed the main story quests, though you'll need the Explorer skill unlocked to use it. It's the skill to unlock fast travel. This will help you save time when navigating the map. Additionally, the developers have made changes to how finances are handled if you faint during restaurant service. You'll still be able to claim your earnings thanks to a new finance window that pops up after fainting. While I don't faint during my restaurant service runs anymore, I do think this would have saved me in keeping my earnings back when I kept fainting. A temporary controls tutorial has been added at the start of the game to help new players get used to the controls. This guide will be updated once controller support and key rebinds are introduced by November. Moving on to the planned future updates, the developers plan to improve the controls and add support for controllers and custom key settings. This will make the game easier to play, which I do think is really needed right now as I feel that the default keys aren't ergonomic enough. Oh, and this is also good news for the Steam Deck players with a controller support. I love playing via my Steam Deck as well. Unfortunately, it's broken up for repairs, but hopefully it will be repaired in time for this release. Moving on, and this is something I'm pretty much looking forward to. Spring 2025 will bring bigger content updates like seasonal festivals, new bosses, side quests, and deeper relationships with characters. I've been enjoying Chef RPG so far and I can't wait for more content. It's targeted for spring, so this could mean as late as May, but let me know in the comments if it's earlier or later in your part of the world. There's no information yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to the seasonal festivals, and I can't help but compare it to familiar farming games like Stardew, but can I be a bit hopeful? That there would be something similar to a cook-off in Suikoden, or even just the cooking festivals in Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons. Although you're technically the only chef in town, maybe it's going to be more akin to a hot pot celebration and you're in charge of the cooking? Let me know your thoughts and theories in the comments and let's have a fun discussion. And my favorite part in the spring content, we'll be expecting to get more romance features. Dating in this game wasn't as clear as I would like, but I still enjoyed it. The romance candidates were charming in their own ways, and I would love more content around it. A new game mode will also be introduced called Chef Mode, which focuses more on restaurant management. Right now, the game plays like the old Facebook game Restaurant City, where it's more relaxed and hands-off. But some players have asked for a more challenging and fast-paced experience. In response, the developers are adding a second game mode called Chef Mode to go alongside the original Story Mode. Story Mode will stay pretty chill, players can open and close their restaurants whenever they want, cooking minigames will be optional, and customers will be more patient. On the other hand, Chef Mode will have more tasks to juggle. You'll have to open your restaurant every night after spending the day collecting ingredients and completing quests. Customers will be less patient, and you'll need to wash dishes, meet temp challenges, and play cooking minigames to a high standard to unlock auto cooking. Can I just say, washing dishes is giving Overcooked vibes. My favorite part is that finally you can now perform all waiter tasks. No more waiting for your sleeping waiter, holding on to the meal to be served to your last patron. We can finally do it ourselves. The developers are still working out the details of Chef Mode and want players' feedback on what they'd like to see. Personally, I would love for a host role to make things more complicated, but hey, your restaurant will look fancier. This mode is planned for release in spring 2025 along with a festivals and relationships update, but there's still room for adjustments as they continue testing the new features. By fall 2025, they'll add new fishing features, more quests, and boss fights, along with translations for different languages. The fishing minigame is pretty frustrating for me. I find that depending on your catch, it's either normal or really hard to lure in. So I do hope that the new minigames will give an easier and maybe a refreshing take on fishing in this game. I do, however, love the sushi recipes, so maybe, just maybe, new sushi bar decorations in this update? But that's just my wishful thinking. Oh, and speaking of translations, the developers explained that they haven't started localizing the game yet because they're still working on a lot of the text, but plan to start translating once the game's text is more finalized. They'll also give more information about which languages will be available closer to that time. And if you want to be in the loop for the latest Chef RPG updates, subscribe so you won't miss out. After all those updates, the full game is set to release by summer 2026 with a complete story, a new city, new characters, and extra endgame content for players to enjoy. I have been loving the story arcs and I'm truly excited for the storyline to continue. I do wish that it's sprinkled in many major updates throughout the development timeline and not all in 2026. That will be so sad. But I'm definitely looking forward to the new city and new characters. The developers have already mentioned this even before the early access releases, so I'm definitely expecting a setting as big and lived in as White Ash Harbor. So, what features are you most excited about? Let us know in the comments. And if you haven't seen it already, I shared a few of my mistakes when starting out in the game that hopefully you won't have to go through if you check this out. So if you're enjoying Chef RPG as much as I do, click on the video so you won't miss out. Stay awesome, gamers!